Hopefully you still have your contractor because we are doing constructions today with parallel and perpendicular lines. For each of these three examples, I said I'm going to show you just the first one and you complete the second one. I'm actually going to do both of them for you. Feeling nice this year. So, first thing we're going to do is construct the line parallel to the given line. So we want to, basically we know we're going to have a line that looks like this. How are we going to do that? Well, watch. I'm just going to draw a line that goes through the point and the given line. I'm a little too far there, I slipped, so I'm just going to erase that a little bit. Now, we'll talk about what that represents here in a little bit. But we're going to use what we learned in the last constructions video in this constructions. So you're hopefully going to recognize this. I'm going to use a number. I'll go with 30, just a random number. All that's doing is getting me 30 units away from my vertex. And I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to go 30. And what that's doing is getting me, again, 30 units away from my vertex. I could have chosen a different number if I would have wanted to. Okay? Then I'm going to turn my paper, and I'm going to measure how far is it from that intersection to that intersection. That's my degree measure. It looks like it is 37. So now I'm going to go with 37 over here. Oh, I guess I got to go this way. Should be the same, but I should have gone from here to there. Yeah, it's still 37. So I'm going to go from there, 37. Get a little arc. Intersection is right there. Now watch what happens. I'm going to connect those. And there's my parallel line. So that is parallel to that. Okay? We'll do that one in a little bit, but I want to talk about why and how that worked. So which type of angles were created? Well, first of all, that line that I drew was a transversal. Right? And now if you look at it, and you see it that way, these are corresponding angles, right? How do I know these lines are parallel? Well, since these angles are exactly the same, right? I made them that way. I constructed congruent angles. What I have is the converse of the corresponding angles postulate. If the corresponding angles are congruent, then these lines are parallel. Okay? If you want to try it yourself, fast forward to the next thing I'm doing, if you want, but I'm going to do it again. Draw the transversal. Now I'm going to flip mine upside down because I'm not left-handed. I'm going to use 30 again. It's a good number for this. Use 30 again. And then I'm going to measure from here down to, looks like 41. So I'm going to go over here, go to 41. Okay. Intersection, put my point. Now, I know that it slides a little bit and that dot is a lot bigger than normal. So it does look a little off of parallel, but I can see that the markings and everything match up to make this construction accurate. Okay. Now we're doing perpendicular lines. Construct the line perpendicular to the given line, but it has to go through that point. So what we need to do here is we need to center our point. And what I mean by that is we need to get that so that's in the middle of my line. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go, again, I'm just going to pick 30, just a random number. 30, and then I'm going to flip it around, and I'm going to go 30 here. And what that does is it creates a new segment where that's the midpoint, because that's 30 and that's 30. Now what we can do is, since we did that back with basic constructions, now I'm going to go over here. This is like my endpoint of my new segment. I'm going to use a bigger number this time. I'm going to go with 40, and I'm going to make a big arc. And then I'm going to go over here and do the same thing using the same number, 40. And look what I just created. I just created the perpendicular bisector of this segment, but I made it so that the middle was my point. So there's my perpendicular line that goes through that point. Okay? So, doing another one. If you felt good about that, jump down to the next one. Fast forward. I'm going to center my point that I'm concerned with. 30 is a bit too far. It goes off the line, so I'm going to use a smaller number this time. I'll go 25, just to show you that it doesn't matter. So that's 25, and I'm going to go 25 again. And now I'm going to go out here. I have to go over half, so I'm going to go, heck, I'll do 40 again. Why not? And then I'm going to do the same thing on this endpoint. Okay, so there, there. Connect the dots. And that line is perpendicular to the given line. Okay? Now, what if the point that we want to write a perpendicular line through, or construct a perpendicular line through, is not on the line? We can still center it. And here's how. And there are teachers that call this the one-eyed smiley. You'll see why in a second. I'm going to put my circle thingy on the point. And then I'm going to go to a number that's going to intersect the line twice. 30, you see how 30 just barely touches the line? I wouldn't use 30 here. I'm going to use 40. Okay? And you see what this does? It makes a point right here and a point right here. So that's a new segment with this being right in the middle. So now I've already got one point up here. I just need another point down here. So what I do is I go to my endpoints of my new segment, and I'm going to go down here to say, I'll just use 40 again just to be consistent. I'm going to put an arc there, and then I'm going to do the same thing with this one. Make sure it's 40, or whatever number you chose. That's my second point. If I connect those two dots, I've just created a perpendicular line. Okay? And that's why we call it the one-eyed smiley. One-eyed smiley face. Okay? We'll do it again. A little faster this time. This one I could use 30 because it does hit, but I'm going to go ahead and use a bigger number still. We'll go with 40 again. Okay, and then I'm going to go, I'll go ahead and put the dots there to make my new segment. You don't have to use the same number. You can. So I'll just be consistent, I will. That's 40. And that's 40. And now I'm going to put that dot there and finish my construction. Okay. So that is constructing parallel and perpendicular lines.